Hello students, I'm going to take you through introduction to data management using databases, and I hope you are all keeping safe. Data is the foundation on which business success is built. In every business, any business you begin thinking of, the business must have data, and it's that data which makes it a success. It can be either financial data, maybe data about clients. Just like a university we are in today, we have data about everything. We have data about lecturers, we have data about you students, and that's why you're able even to call and ask, what is my access number? If we don't have data, we will not provide for you a solution to the problem you're posing. So data is a foundation on which business success is built. Please take note. So a successful management of data is critical to an organizational mission to make informed decisions. So for a successful management of data, once you manage your data successfully, just know the mission to the success of your organization is guaranteed. You will have to base on that data you have to make informed decisions. I will still use university as an example. We cannot hire a lecturer. A lecturer can never be hired in a university or even a secondary school when they don't know that this course unit is going to be lecture, this class is going to be there. If we don't have BBA, there's no need of hiring a lecturers for BBA, meaning we don't have data about these students. We don't have them, so there's no need of hiring those particular. But once we have them, we'll hire, and that leads to a success, and it makes us make informed decisions about who we are supposed to hire in the organization. We have a pyramid which is showing us, or you can call it an isosceles triangle, trying to show us how data can help to lead to a success. Below here we have data. Everything sits on data. We have the data. This data is changed into information. Now remember that we did define data as unprocessed information which is not meaningful to a user. So it is very big here, covering a very big portion, but this data is not meaningful until it is turned into information that the user will make use of it. After that, after you having the information as the user, you will now get the knowledge. You will get the knowledge, and after getting the knowledge, it is this knowledge going to help you make a decision of what to do. And once you make that decision correctly, you will have a success. You register a success. And that's why in the due course, when you are admitted into the course, we are collecting your data through your application form. And it's that data which is turned into your information that we send to registration desk. And then from there, it's then we get the knowledge. Okay? Which kind of knowledge are you going to get within the university? You get a knowledge about within the university about your course you're studying. And then there is making informed decisions. It's at that point that we are able to make informed decisions. You make an informed decision of what you're going to be in the future. And then there's success. You register success at the end of the day. Either you are going to graduate and you'll be a better person in the future. So there's a lot of things being considered of within this pyramid. Now, we have what we call a file organization terms and concepts. A computer system organizes data in a hierarchy that starts with a bit. When we talk about a bit represents a 0 or a 1, and this is the computer language. Okay, a computer only understands 0 and 1s. In other words, it understands binary numbers. And binary numbers are base 2 numbers. It's 0 and 1s. So the 8 bits of 0 and 1s, or only zeros or 1s, are grouped to form a byte. Okay, so 8 bits represent a byte. Each byte represents one character. Okay, number or a symbol. Just one character or a number or a symbol, it's a bit. So bytes can be grouped to form a field. Okay, they can be grouped to form a field. It can represent a person's name or age. So that particular field can be someone's name, can be someone's age, can be a district, it can be date of birth, it can be anything. And that is the age. And then that is the byte. That is the byte. And then we have related fields can be grouped to form a record. Yes, a related field can be grouped to form a record. So when you collect more fields together which are related, you are coming up what we call a record. So related fields can be student's name, course taken, and grade. I have a student maybe called Isaac, and this Isaac, that is his name. The course taken is BBA. The grade he got in BIT is 78. That is a record, and that is a record. And it is related because it is for that particular student. And then we have related record can be grouped to form a file. So you can group all these to be able to come up with a file. So the related file can be grouped to form a database. Once you group many files together, you come up what we call a database. Okay, so this is how the data hierarchy is. So within here, you are able to see a course file and a financial file. This is a personal history file, and what you see here is a database, and this database is called student database. After the database, we have what we call a file, and a file, these are names of students who are in this classroom environment. Okay, it can be Edward Kabale, it can be Cosmas again, it can be Wamusi Robert, it can be any person's name. So BBA, BBA, this is what we call a file. And then we have a record. A record is now when I pick one of them. I have the name, the course, and the grade. That means he got an A, and this is the course. Edward is a record. A field, I can pick a field. The field now becomes the field, the name field. The name field for this is the student's name. That is the field. Okay, the course name, that's the field. A grade, that is the field. And then you have a byte. A byte is a letter A in a binary. So you can have a byte. A byte, it's made up of 8 bits. And these 8 bits, each one represents a character. Either a 0 or a 1 represents a character. So if a 0 or 1 is a bit. Okay. And then we have file-based systems. A file is a collection of records which contain logically related data. So when you collect records in one location and these records are the same, okay, are the same, and they have related data, it's what we refer to as a file. Okay, you are trying to come up with a file. So the collection of application programs that perform services for the end users is called a report. Okay, when you collect application programs that perform services to the end users, e.g. a report. Okay, this is still a file. Okay, Still a file. We have each program defines and manages its own data. Each program defines and manages its own data. Just like Microsoft Word, Excel. There's no you can open Excel in Word. There's no you cannot open Word in Excel, because each program manages its own what? Its own data. A better alternative to paper-based filing system, we are saying a file-based approach. This is an employee. The employee has program A and B, an employee filing system. So the employee will be required to fill in the personal file. We have fill in the cost file and the grade file. This is what an employee will do. How about a student? A student will belong to a particular program. Then student filling system. The student will fill the personal file, the course file, the grade, and the activity. This is a student. And then we have the traditional approach to data management. That is file-based approach. So the old way of doing things still often used in practice. Okay, people still do these things in practice in offices. They still use file-based systems. They still exist. Files still exist. They don't run away from the offices. You even know that these files are the same that we always pick the computerized systems from. Without a file-based system, you may not necessarily come up with a computerized system. So separate information stored on separate files. Each information is always stored on its separate file. So it is a way of collecting and maintaining data in an organization that leads to each functional area or division creating and maintaining its own data files and programs. Changes and updates can make or are made to file separately. So sometimes you may need to make sure that your files are kind of separated for easy location. Sometimes you may find someone very many files in his office and you end up not managing them well. And this is some of the disadvantages always have within an organization. Sales, we have file example, we have sales. Know how many products A, B, and C have been sold. File stores product, name, production schedule, and sales. Please, that's what a file may have. Production, know how much of the products A, B, and C have been produced. File store, all those field names. Then marketing, know the price of the product A, B, and C. File store as product name and product price. Okay, yes. So we have problems of file-based approach. There are a lot of problems with this file-based approach. One, separation and isolation of data. When data is isolated in separate files, it is more difficult for us to access data that should be available. Okay, the application programmer is required to harmonize, match, synchronize the processing of the two or more files to ensure correct data extracted. So when data is isolated in a separate file, it's always very difficult for us to access the data. It should be available. So separation and isolation of data, it is not good to someone, especially when you're in an office. It will be very difficult for us to get access to that information or data. Lack of data sharing and availability. You cannot share data within an office, because if I have one file, for example, I only have one file. This file will be in my office. If you need it, you come to my office, read from there, and go back. I can't share with you. So it becomes almost very difficult to share data across different functional areas freely. And then we have lack of flexibility. It refers to the fact that it is very difficult to create new reports from the data when needed. It's always very difficult. Ad hoc reports are impossible. New reports could require several weeks of work by more than one programmer. So sometimes it's very hard. It's not flexible. No, it's not flexible. You can't ask me a report today and you need it today. It's impossible. sometimes it will require a lot of manpower that to compile all the things together. So file-based system or approach has a lot of disadvantages, and one of it is lack of flexibility. Poor security is a problem resulting from lack of control over data because it is widespread and distributed into so many files. So there are very many files. So a student can get these files, an employee can get these files who is not supposed to get access to these files, but will still receive these files, which is not good. So there's no security with the file-based approach. Data redundancy is the presence of duplication of data in multiple data files. In this situation, there is confusion of results because the data can have different meanings in different files. For example, I have students' files, but I have 10 of them. They have this one, even sometimes you may even realize to understand whether this one is your student or is not your student. So data redundancy is very, very, very big problem using file-based approach. There's a lot of duplication. We have program data dependency. Is the tight relationship between data stored in files and the specific program required to update and maintain those files. This dependency is very inefficient, resulting in need to make changes in many programs when a common piece of data changes. So the program data dependency is also a problem. There is a tight relationship between data stored in a file and specific programs required to update and maintain those files. So it becomes a serious problem. So it's always very efficient. It's very efficient. So for today, we are going to stop here. Next time we meet, we shall look at data approach. Thank you for listening. Stay safe. God bless you.